Hi all, good morning and thanks for joining. So we started already cybersecurity definition. We completed 3 classes. So where we stopped yesterday, from there we can continue. In the yesterday class, what we discussed about what is meant by credentials and what is meant by vulnerability, what is meant by threat, what is meant by risk. Then also we discussed about what is meant by malware, or what is meant by malware category of the attacks, and how can we test our antivirus or EDR or XDR whether it is working in our laptop or not. And also I have shown about how the DNS resolution will happen. So these things we discussed. So from there we can continue. So next one is antivirus, EDR, XDR or anti-malware. So how we can define this one now? Normally external attacker or internal employee, they are trying to do all malware category of the attacks. So whenever any malware category of the attacks are trying to do by an external attacker, in that scenario, this virus, antivirus or EDR or XDR or anti-malware, it will do the detection of the malware, it will do the identification of the malware, and also it will do the preventing of the malware or quarantining of the malware. So these are all the different types of action it will take care. So how it will do and how it will block it, that we are going to discuss about endpoint security. So once we are going to endpoint security, I will explain about what is agent and how the agent will communicate it to our antivirus or EDR or XDR tool. And finally, based on the policies configured and based on the detection methods, so either it will do the blocking or quarantining or allowing of the respective malware category of the attack. In-depth analysis, I will discuss under the endpoint security. Okay, if I will explain now, you will not understand. Sorry to say. So this agent, it will communicate it to EDR tool or XDR tool, and finally it will go on, it will block all those malware category of the attacks. So that is called functionality of antivirus, EDR, XDR, anti-malware. Okay, so how we can define this one now? So antivirus or EDR or XDR or anti-malware, it will do the detection of the malware, it will do the identification of the malware, and also it will do the protection of the malware or quarantining of the malware category of the attacks. So that is called antivirus or EDR or XDR or anti-malware. Okay. Antivirus or EDR or XDR or anti-malware, it will do identification, detection, blocking, and quarantine of all malware category of the attacks. So what are the different malware category of the attacks we have discussed yesterday? So example, virus, worm, Trojan, ransomware, logic bomb, so rootkit, keyloggers, keystrokers, hacking tool. So there are more than 15 to 20 in between. All malware category of the attacks we classified. All those malware category of the attacks can be detected and also prevented, and also blocking can be done by using the antivirus or EDR and XDR and anti-malware. Okay. So next one is agent or sensor. So what is meant by agent or sensor here, and who will provide this one? Agent is a piece of software file. For example, Wireshark I have shown. We can go and we can download the Wireshark to do the network traffic analysis. So that is also like an agent. And also I have shown one of the tool name is called so GenMap. Okay, or port scanning tool or Nmap tool. That is also one of the piece-based software file. So, and who will provide this agent? So this agent will be provided by vendor. Example, so I purchased McAfee EDR tool to prevent and block all malware category of the text in my personal laptop or personal computer. So this is like an agent. And after that, once I will purchase, one of the email it will come and I can go and I can download that one. And finally, I install this one. Now, whenever I will copy the malware related files or virus related files, or maybe if I'm clicking on the phishing malware attachment, of agent automatically will block it. So this piece of the software file is called as agent or sensor also we can say. And who will provide this agent or sensor? So this agent or sensor will be provided by vendor. Whatever vendor tool we are using or purchasing or buying, so those vendor, it will provide our agent. Okay, so that is called agent or sensor. Anyways, I will show you practically. So it is a piece of software file provided by vendor. Example, this is also called software package, piece of software file or piece of software package. McAfee EDR agent, Sophos EDR agent, or CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike also one of the antivirus tool. CrowdStrike, Falcon sensor agent. So on the CrowdStrike antivirus and EDR tool, we will not call it as a directly agent. We will call it Falcon sensor. So that is the agent name. Okay. In the similar Symantec EDR agent, and so on. There are so many tools are available to us. So more than 80 plus. So we can go and we can purchase anything based on the Gartner report. Most of the people will purchase the EDR or XDR antivirus tool. So where can we go and where can we download? So this one can be downloaded directly tool. So where can we download this piece of software file? Once you are purchasing any tool, we can go to the administrator settings or general settings, and finally we can go and we can download the software package. After downloading the software package, whatever endpoints we do have, example, in my organization or in our organization, it contains approximate 10,000 endpoints like laptop or MacBook or workstation or desktop or all the servers. Then finally we have to purchase the licensing part for all those 10,000 endpoints. And finally, we have to deploy this agent on all those machines. So this is the way how the implementation can be done by our EDR tool. Okay, for example, if I want to show practically, where can we go and where can we download this EDR agent? So for that one, I can go and I can open one of the EDR tool. That EDR tool name is called as Sophos EDR. So in future, I'm going to discuss about this tool. So this is the URL link. You can practice also this one like a lab. And I have to provide the username and password. So username is demo@sophos.com. So continue, and it will ask password now. So password also D is capital letter, demo@sophos.com. So then sign in. So this is Sophos EDR tool, not only just Sophos EDR tool. Sophos is one of the vendor. They will do, they will develop. There are so many security tools like firewall, email security solution, and also vulnerability management solution, cloud security solution, Jetty and a zero trust network access, EDR tool and antivirus tool, and so on. There are so many tools are available. There are so many products they are developing. Okay. So now where can we download EDR agent? For this one, we have to go to settings. So on these all these computers, we deployed the EDR agent, not we. Sophos company has done deployment of the EDR agent. And wherever it is showing as a green color, those devices are working fine. And wherever it is showing like yellow color or red color of the symbol, those system does not working fine. So health checkup related issues. For example, you can see this Windows 7 desktop. It's one of the machine. So Windows Desktop 3, it's one of the machine. It is showing like a critical. So remaining all the machines or devices like laptop or servers or desktops and so on, Ubuntu or Linux, for all those machines, they deploy the EDR agent. Okay. So now, so here Windows 7 desktop and here Frank Azil. Frank Azil is a username. Okay. And XDR they deployed. So XDR is a tool. It's advanced version of the antivirus and EDR tool that we can discuss later. Now this machine health checkup related issues are existing. What is mean by health checkup here? So maybe EDR agent is sleeping, or antivirus agent is sleeping, or maybe XDR agent is sleeping because of the patch related issues, because of the updated related issues, and so on. So now attacker, what he will do? He will try to compromise Frank as the user machine, and he will compromise using the malware category of the attack. So this is the way how the systems will get compromised. So that is the reason what is the endpoint security or endpoint protection. First and foremost, any cyber security analyst guy, he will take care. Health checkup is very important. He will go and he will validate where I went now. I went to more, then I went to devices tab. So then devices tab, if I'm clicking on the computer and servers now, I came to know that health checkup of the Frank Castle machine, that is nothing but Windows desktop he is using. This machine has some of the health checkup related issues are existing. How I can conclude that health checkup related issues are existing based on the coloring code. So remaining all the machines, it is showing as a green color. So and only Frank as the machine Windows desktop, it is showing like critical, and also it is showing using red color symbol. So that means EDR agent is sleeping in this scenario. Now what we have to do as a endpoint security analyst or endpoint security protection or administrator guy, we can go and we can see why the agent is sleeping. What is the reason behind that one? Whether we have to go and reinstall the EDR agent, or uninstall the EDR agent, or whether we have to uninstall and reinstall once again. So those things we have to verify. Okay, so this is the way how we can go and we can verify it. And how the EDR agent, how the EDR tool, it will block all malware category of the attacks. What I said, what is meant by EDR? EDR, it will do identification of the malware category of the attack, detection of the malware category of the attack, blocking of the malware category of the attack, and also quarantining of the malware category of the attack. So based on what parameter? Based on the policies configured. You can see here. So policies tab, for this machine or all the devices or whatever endpoints we do have. So we have to configure all these different types of policies. Device encryption, application control, DLP, Windows firewall, peripheral control, nothing but through USB malware it will come, threat protection, and update management and web control. If you are configuring these policies, and also once you are enabling these policies, finally whenever any attacker is trying to do the hacking related to malware category of the attack, agent will communicate it to these EDR tool. Right now whatever I am showing to you. So based on the signature based detection, based on the machine learning and artificial intelligence, finally either it will block, or either it will do the quarantine, or maybe either it will allow the respective malware category of the attack. In case it is allowing malware category of the attack, nothing but something got compromised. Okay, then we have to go and we have to do the analysis part. So this is the way how the EDR functionality it will work. Okay. So now there are different types of products are existing. All these are different types of products. Now where can we download our EDR agent? That is the topic I'm discussing now. We have to go to general settings, and we have to go to administration. Then we have to click on software packages. So once you are clicking on the software packages, so you can see here, so there are different types of operating systems. We can go and we can install this EDR agent or XDR agent or antivirus agent. Windows computers, Windows servers, Linux servers, and MacBooks. All these are different types of operating system. Windows computer like Windows 7 or Windows 8 or Windows 9 or Windows 10 or Windows 11, one type of operating system. In the similar desktop of the Windows 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 11, in the similar way, workstation of the Windows 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 11, all these one category of the operating system. Then Windows Server is different operating system. Then Linux is different operating system. Under Linux, once again, CentOS, Docker, Container, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Fedora, SUSE, Ubuntu, all those are different types of operating system. Then MacBook is a different types of operating system from Apple. So now, whatever endpoints we do have, we can go and we can download the latest software package. So you can see here, this one is released on September 19th, 2024 by Sophos company, and it is end date is July 15th, 2025. Okay. So now this one we can go and we can download and we have to install. Package notes also we have to read. And this is for core. It's for like antivirus. Intercept X, it is like antivirus, and it is for MDR, managed detection response. It's for encryption. So all these are different types of products now. So this is the place we can go and we can download. And finally, what are endpoints we do have in our organization? For example, in our organization, 10,000 endpoints are there related to laptop, MacBook, workstation, desktop. So then we have to download all these packages. Then we have to install on each and every end user machine. Once you are installing, then automatically under the device tab, once you are clicking on device tab, computer and servers here, it will appear here the device. In case it is not appearing, we have to go and we have to do the troubleshooting part. Most of the case it will appear. So this is the way how the EDR it will work. Now whatever EDR agent or antivirus agent we are deploying on Suresh, Mahesh, Naresh, Nagesh, and so on, and all the servers machines or all the databases or all the MacBooks. So whenever the malware category of the attacks done by either external attacker or maybe internal employee, knowingly or unknowingly, that agent will communicate it to this tool. Now, based on the policies configured, I have shown already policies also. Based on the policies configured, based on the different detection methods, every security tool has different types of detection methods. According to those detection methods, so these security tools, either it will allow or either it will block or either it will do quarantine or either it will do the so rejecting of the malware category of the attacks. Not only our EDR tool, but also so this concept is applicable to firewall, proxy, DLP, so web application firewall, next generation firewall. Every security tool functionality is this one only. How the backend process it will work based on the policies, based on the so detection methods. According to these two parameters, any security tool it will work. Okay, so that is about overall what is mean by agent or sensor. What do you mean agent or sensor? It's a piece of software file. It can be provided vendor. In our practical scenario, who is providing our EDR agent or antivirus agent? Sophos is one of the vendor. Sophos is one of the company. They are providing our EDR tool. Okay, that is about agent or sensor. So security tool functionality. Any security tool, forget about endpoint security or network security or cyber security or vulnerability management or cloud security, application security, product security, and so except information security. Because information security side, we will not go and will not use any tools. So most of these security domains, like what just now I mentioned, all those tools, it will work on simple functionality. What is that functionality? Or backend process, otherwise I can say security tool functionality or backend process. So first thing is we have to configure policies. You have to configure policies or enabling policies. So second one is enable detection. So using detection methods. Using detection methods. So what are the different detection methods that will be used? It can be used by signature based. It's for known category of the attacks. Second one is same thing using detection methods only. Machine learning and artificial intelligence, ML and AI. ML and AI even we can use in our security tools also. It's for unknown category of the attacks. How this one will work, we can discuss in the future. So this is what one of the interview question day before yesterday, one of the candidate is attended for AON is one of the company. So what is the difference between signature based versus machine learning and artificial intelligence or heuristic approach? So what is the answer we have to say? Signature based, it can be used to detect and block and quarantine all known category of the attacks. And machine learning or artificial intelligence or heuristic approach, it can be used to detect and block and quarantine unknown category of the attacks. That is the answer. Okay. So any security tool, as I mentioned, so that may be EDR or firewall or proxy or web application firewall, cloud security tools, even SIM tools and vulnerability management tools will work on this functionality only. First, we have to configure the policies. Next one, we have to enable the detection methods. So there is no need to enable detection methods also. By default, once the product development they are doing by any vendor, so or any tool, so they will configure all these policies. We no need to enable any detection method. Detection methods are by default, it will come. Only policies we have to configure. So this is the way how the security tool it will work, and what is the backend process. Okay, so that is our overall security tool functionality or backend process. By the by, who will take care of these policies implementations or enabling the policies? Not even L1, not even L2, or not even L3 level of role. This complete implementation level. Policies configuration, rule configuration, detection methods configuration, all those can be done by implementation team. But you should be aware of why, because nowadays, as I mentioned, interviews are not like support level of the role. So even you should be aware of the implementation level approach also. Then only you can crack the interviews. Anyway, that we can discuss later. So this is the way how the any security tool it will work. Okay. Next one is attacker or intruder or threat actor or hacker. So all these are synonyms now. So attacker or intruder or threat actor or hacker. So the person who is trying to do the hacking to achieve our main objective and goal is easy way of earning money, or maybe data breach or data violation or data exfiltration. So for these two reasons, attacker will try to do the hacking part. So whoever is trying to do the hacking, that person we can call it as either threat actor or hacker or intruder or attacker. The person is try to do hacking to gain unauthorized access, is not an authorized person, or data breach or data exfiltration or sensitive data exposure or monetary benefits. So that person we can call it as attacker or intruder or threat actor or hacker. So I provided objective and goal also in the definition itself. Monetary function meaning here, he wants easy way of earning money. And also I mentioned another objective is data breach or data exfiltration. With the data, what he will try to do. Example, you are losing your maybe debit card or credit card. Maybe I can go and I can go for shopping in case Wi-Fi option is enabled. So I given one of the practical example also when we were discussing about demo class. So maybe Apple doesn't have the any copyrights or trademarks or patents, and I'm working in Apple company as a developer, and I'm resigning from Apple company, and I steal the code how to develop the Apple phone. Then I will come back and I will come outside of the company. Then I can put RK Mobile Industries. Okay, so this is the way how the data can be also utilized by an attacker for any violation or breach or also monetary functions. Okay, so that is about attacker or intruder or threat actor or hacker. This also enter a question couple of times what they will ask, like what in with threat actor. Next one, data breach or data exfiltration. So breaching of the data or exposing of the data or so leaking of the data is called as data exfiltration. So leaking of the data or data violation or data breach or sensitive data exposure is called as data exfiltration. This is one of the MITRE ATT&CK framework. Okay. Leaking of the data or exposing of the data or exfiltration of the data is called as data exfiltration. If you want to prevent a data breach or data exfiltration, then what we have to do? So, and what are the different ways data can be leaked? So data can be leaked. There are several ways. Data can be leaked using first one through pen drives or memory stick and so on, through peripheral controls or peripheral devices. So this is one of the way how the data can be leaked. So peripheral devices already given example in the yesterday class. So like USB or memory stick or maybe external hard disk or maybe floppy disk and so on. So These devices we can call it as peripheral devices. So second one, through email, sending the email from personal to professional, vice versa. So from professional to personal. So example, you're working in Wipro and you are sending one of the file through your professional wipro.com to your personal gmail.com. So this is the way how the data can be leaked. So through email, through websites. So you are uploading huge or large amount of the files of the folder of the data into the either OneDrive or Google Drive, or maybe you're posting couple of data in the Facebook or social networking websites like LinkedIn, so or maybe Twitter or Instagram and so on. That is also one of the leaking of the data. So last one is through cloud. So if you don't maintain the proper sufficient controls in the cloud environment, so from the external to internal or internal to external, that is also one of the way data can be leaked. Okay. So these are all the ways data can be leaked. Now how we can do the protection of the data, or how we can do all this leakaging of the data. So note I'm giving, data breach or data exfiltration or data violation can be prevented by using DLP, data loss prevention. So that data loss may be using endpoint DLP or network DLP, cloud DLP, and email DLP. So these are all the ways how the data can be prevented, data can be blocked, and we have to create policies for DLP also, same as it is. So DLP also we have to create policies, and based on the signature based and based on the machine learning or artificial intelligence side, so DLP can be prevented or blocked whenever any data breach or data exploitation will happen. Okay, now DLP is becoming very, very popular. Dedicated to DLP also, there are so many vacancies are available. If you know one of the tool into DLP side, so then obviously, so you can go and you can apply these DLP vacancies also. Okay. So that is about overall data breach, data exfiltration, or so sensitive data exposure and so on. So next one is IDS. What do you mean by IDS? Intrusion detection system. So it is one of the very favorite interview question for almost all the interviews. They will ask like, what is IDS and IPS and what is the different types of IDS and IPS? So IDS, IPS, so name itself, it is suggesting that intrusion, it's like a bad activity or abnormal activity or suspicious activity or malicious activity. Intrusion. So meaning here, abnormal or malicious or suspicious or illegitimate. So that is meant by intrusion. So detection means detecting. System means tool or system otherwise. So whenever now you can combine these three together and you can make like a sentence now. Whenever any abnormal or malicious or suspicious activity done by an attacker, IDS will only do the detection part. It will not do preventing. It will also it will not also do blocking part. That is called IDS. So how we can define now definition? Whenever any abnormal or malicious or suspicious or illegitimate activity will be done by an attacker, IDS will only detect those attacks. So that is called IDS. Okay, now what is IPS? Intrusion prevention system. So here not only just detection, it will do the even blocking also. Same as it is, it will not change anything here. So only one thing you have to add in this overall definition part. IDS will not only detect the attacks, but also it will prevent and block all the attacks. So that is IPS. So IPS, it will detect and it will do the blocking, and also it will do the even identification of the attacks. But IDS only, it will do the detection part. So maybe you can ask now, why IDS we have to implement in the organization side now? What is the reason behind why we have to purchase the IDS tool? Wherever non-critical data resources are available, non-critical data it is existing, those places we no need to deploy IPS, just only for monitoring purpose. Only for monitoring purpose we can use IDS. That is one of the reason. Whoever is invented IDS and IPS, initially they invented IDS, later they invented IPS. So that is the reason. So IDS also we should be used couple of places. For example, when I was working in X company, name is called TiVo. It's a product development company, and we are developing the entertainment products. Okay, so now we are purchased one of the tool name is called Vectra IDS and IPS, and we do have the couple of places like California, is my headquarters, and Singapore, and also even Bangalore R&D center, and also even Dubai. So these four different types are the places we are developing the product development side. 17,000 employees. Now, so in Dubai location, and we have only 5 employees are existing, and also very non-critical service they are deployed. It's like a branch office, and headquarters in the California, and also Bangalore, also one of the R&D center. So mainly developing of these entertainment products they are developing in the Bangalore R&D center, 5,500 employees, and the California around 11,000 employees, and in the Singapore around 2,000 employees, and finally in the Dubai location as a branch office around 5 to 10 members. So for Dubai location, only non-critical data is existing. There we deployed like only IDS. Just we want to monitor and alert should be generated. Remaining all the locations like California in US, and also in the Singapore, and also in the Bangalore in India. So these locations we deployed the IPS. This is the way how the so IDS IPS we deployed and we implemented for overall 4 different types of the locations, starting with the USA, also India, and Singapore, and UAE, Dubai. Okay, so why I'm saying this one now? So wherever non-critical data it is existing, just for monitoring purpose and receiving the alert notification, those places IDS is needs. Okay. So next one is types of IDS IPS. This one also we discussed. Endpoint DLP, endpoint IDS IPS. So this is also called a HIDS HIPS, host. Endpoint is also called as a host. HIDS HIPS are host IDS and host IPS. So that is on the endpoint side. Whenever in endpoint side, abnormal or malicious or suspicious activities happen, so endpoint IDS or IPS or host IDS or host IPS, it will do detection of those category of the attacks. Next one, network IDS, network IPS. That is also called as NADS, NAPS. Finally, wireless IDS and wireless IPS. Even we have to monitor Wi-Fi traffic also. WIDS, WIPS. It's for Wi-Fi traffic. Wi-Fi, sorry, I given E. So IDS IP, these are all the different IDS IPS. So endpoint side, it will work through agent, and network side, we have to deploy using the promiscuous mode or inline method. WIDS, WIPS also, we have to deploy using the inline method or promiscuous mode. That we can discuss later, implementation. How we can do the implementation of IDS IPS under the network security and also endpoint security and wireless security. Next one is next generation firewall or UTM. So what is meant by next generation firewall or UTM? So before going to do this one, I want to explain about inbound traffic or incoming traffic. What is meant by inbound traffic or incoming traffic? So what do you mean by incoming call? What do you mean by incoming call to our mobile side? So the call is coming from one of the person to me is called as incoming call. Okay. One of the opposite person will call to us is called incoming call. What is outgoing call? You are calling someone is called as outgoing call. Same way, what do you mean inbound traffic? The traffic is coming from external to internal. So from other person to internal is called as our incoming traffic or inbound traffic. The traffic always in the form of IP packets. The traffic is coming from external to internal is called as inbound traffic or incoming traffic. Then what is outbound traffic or outgoing traffic? The traffic is going away from you or the call is going away from you to some other person is called as outgoing call. Same as it is here also. The traffic is going away from internal to external is called as outbound traffic. Now, combination of these two, incoming plus outgoing or inbound plus outbound, is called as net flow data or J flow data or S flow data. So these are all different types of traffics normally. Net, what do you mean net? What is net semester of your marks? Combining all the semester of the marks, sum of all the semester of the marks, we can call net marks. Okay, same as it is here, net flow data. The combination or the sum of adding of inbound traffic and outbound traffic is called as net flow data. So water traffic is going away from or coming inside to our organization. If are making like a sum, the sum of the all the semester marks, we can call it as overall aggregate percentage or net marks. Same as it is here also. So net flow data meaning here, what the traffics we do have, how many traffics we do have. So there are two different types of traffics we do have. One is called inbound and second one is called outbound. The adding or the summing of these two different types of the traffics or flow data, we can call it as a net flow data. Then why we can call J flow data and why we can call S flow data, I'll explain now. The sum of inbound traffic and outbound traffic is called as net flow data. Now, why we have to call it J flow data or why we have to call it S flow data? So net flow data is provided Cisco terminology. Cisco is not one of the biggest networking company in all over the worldwide. Okay, so it is the networking company is our, so Cisco is defined net flow data, meaning what? In case in our organization, if we are using routers and switches, so those traffic we can call it as net flow data. Example, I purchased one of the Cisco switch, one of the Cisco router. How this switch and router looks like. So Cisco, so 2500, 6500 switch. So this is the way how the switch is looks like of the Cisco. Same thing is applicable to Avaya or Hawaii or AT&T or HP, IBM or Juniper Networks. All these are networking based companies. So this is called chassis based. It's a very big traffic it will maintain. So Cisco Catalyst 6500 switch. So wherever too much of the traffic it is generating or terabytes of the data or picobytes of the data is generating by our companies. For example, telecom based companies. Too much of the traffic will be generated.
So big banks like Axis Bank, or maybe Bank of America, or maybe State Bank of India, or Commonwealth Bank from Australia. So these are all very big banks. So those banks also will purchase. These are all the different types of switches in their data center to maintain or to broadcast of the traffic. So this is one of the example of the Cisco 6500 switch. In the similar way, Cisco 4500 router. So this is the way how the router looks like. This is 4000. So Cisco router. So this is routing of the traffic it will do. And previously whatever I have shown, that will do switching of the traffic. What in the routing and switching we can discuss later once we are going to the data link layer and also network layer. I will explain. So now, so these two different types of devices like routers and switches, it will generate the so inbound traffic and also outbound traffic. Now, if you are using in our organization or if you are deploying Cisco based routers and switches, then we can call it as NetFlow data. Okay, NetFlow terminology is provided by our Cisco networking company. So that's what I'm providing here. If you are purchasing or buying Cisco related routers and switches, those traffic we can call it as NetFlow data. Then what is JFlow data? J is nothing but Juniper Networks. So after Cisco, what is the biggest networking company? Juniper from USA. So this, if you are using Juniper routers and Juniper switches, then we can call it as JFlow data. Same thing, you are purchasing and you are using Juniper related switches and routers. Juniper related routers and switches, then we can call it as JFlow data. So JFlow data has given by our Juniper networks. Then what is mean to S-Flow data? Do we have any S related companies existing? No. HP related routers and switches. If we are purchasing HP related routers and switches, then we can call it as the traffic is S-Flow data. So HP routers and switches. HP company. So routers and switches we can call S-Flow data. Or we can also call it SYSS also. Anything is fine. S or YSS. Then maybe you can ask now, what about Avaya, Hawaii China based telecommunication company, Avaya US based company, then AT&T, IBM and so on. Remaining all other networking companies, we can also call it as NetFlow data only. IBM also we can call it as NetFlow data only. So then even AT&T also we can call NetFlow data. Vodafone also we can call it as NetFlow data. Then Avaya also we can call NetFlow data. Hawaii also we can call NetFlow data and so on. It will not change. Only these three vendors name is different. Okay. So that is about overall NetFlow data and JFlow data. So these traffic overall we can also call it as not only just on the inbound traffic and the outbound traffic, this net flow data also we can call it as north, south, east, west. North, south, east, west. Nothing but overall traffic of the organization. Overall traffic of the incoming and outgoing or net flow data. So what is another name of the net flow data? North, south, and east, west. Nothing but overall organization of the traffic. So that is called north, south, and east, west. In the firewall terminology, we can use all these firewall deployment, firewall policies configuration. They will call it as north, south, and east, west. That is also called as inbound traffic and outgoing traffic. Now we are going to discuss about firewall. Next generation firewall or UTM, Unified Threat Management. There are so many synonyms are there. So then what is meant by firewall versus next generation firewall? I'm going to discuss later. So firewall, it will monitor. FW means firewall. It will monitor inbound traffic, whatever traffic is coming from external to internal, and also outbound traffic. based on the policies configured and based on the detection methods like a signature based MLAA methods, either it will allow the traffic or block the traffic. Either it will allow the traffic or deny the traffic. Deny block is also called deny, rejection. Okay, so that is the functionality of the firewall. Firewall definition also. Okay, so now when it will block it whenever any abnormal activity is going on. In that scenario, using the detection methods like signature based and also machine learning based, either it will allow the traffic or block the traffic. So that is the functionality of the firewall. So then we have to create policies also. So I have shown already. So FortiGate, I logged into the FortiGate firewall. Then I went to security profiles configuration first, and later I have shown how to create firewall policies. First, we have to create security profile, and those security profiles we have to implement in the policies tab. Okay. So in-depth analysis we are going to discuss under the network security using the next generation firewall. Next one, proxy server or secure web gateway. What is proxy interview? The person on behalf of the original candidate of the, so whoever is attending the interview, middleman, it will act as a, so our proxy person, then he will take the interview. That is called proxy interview. So proxy server also now it's like a gate or intermediate device or bridge or broker and so on. Okay, so we should not use broker, but to try to understand, I'm saying about these terminology also. So proxy server, it will act as a now in between, where and where, in between our websites or applications to our end users. Okay, that's called proxy server. It will act as a bridge or gateway or intermediate tool or server in between, where and where, in between end users and external websites or applications. So it will act as a bridge or gateway. So what is mean by that one? Example. So these were all end users now. So that may be HR team or legal team or security team or DevOps team, application development team, product development team, and so on. And this one is proxy server or proxy tool like a Zscaler or Gscaler or Akamai, Barracuda, Imperva, Citrix. These are all okay proxy tools. Even OpenDNS from Cisco. Now websites or applications. So that websites may be facebook.com or twitter.com or instagram.com or any website or any application. Now, whenever end user is trying to access, example, icar.org, it's an illegitimate website. We should not allow. Gambling, we should not allow. So then pornography, we should not allow. Abortion, we should not allow. Terrorism, we should not allow. All these are illegal websites. Okay, then what are the legitimate websites like a news channel or social networking websites or business oriented applications or cloud oriented applications? All these are okay. So our business purpose we can use. So completely we can go and we can define which websites we have to allow and which websites we have to block. So based on our business requirement, we should go and we should coordinate with the application development team on their needs, on their day-to-day operations. What are the websites they want? For example, GitHub, they want maybe some other websites like application development related. So, or maybe so Node.js or maybe React to JS. There are so many websites they need on regular day-to-day basis, like related development. In the similar way, HR, they need Naukri, they need LinkedIn, they need Monster, they need timejobs.com, and so on. That is on the okay HR team side, legal side. So this is the way, whenever if you want to configure the which websites we have to allow and which websites we have to block, our policies, application we should allow, application we should block. we should gather the requirement from the different types of the stakeholders. Implementation team will do all these things. Either we can do this functionality in the firewall. Firewall also can block all these websites using URL filter or content filtering or bright cloud filtering, or maybe even we can do this functionality under the proxy. Okay. Now, whenever end user, for example, he wants to access one of the gambling site, racism site, or maybe terrorism site. Now that request will go to proxy server. Proxy it will validate whether it is a legitimate content related website it is he wants to access, or whether it is illegitimate related. In the proxy server now, we can configure the policies related to different types of websites or application site. So policies we can configure, and also detection methods. So detection methods already I told you, every security tool it will use signature based, and also ML and AI. So based on these two different types of configurations or implementation, if you are trying to do, now end user is accessing gambling or terrorism, or maybe, sorry to say, please take in the technical way, pornography, so racism, and so on. Now, based on the policies configured, based on the detection methods, whatever either you want to block or allow, so then finally it will block, 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 block. So maybe end user wants to access social networking websites, or so business oriented applications like GitHub, as I mentioned, or maybe security prospective CS online, or dark reading, US set. All these are websites we have to read regularly. India set. So these are all business oriented applications. Okay. Now in this scenario, obviously I have to allow all these applications now. In the policy side, I can make allow, then I can access. So this is the way how the proxy it will work. Now proxy it is acting as a bridge in between where and where, in between end user and also in between websites. That is called proxy. Okay. Now types of the proxy servers. What are the different types of proxy servers we do have? There are two different types of proxy servers. One is called forward proxy. Second called reverse proxy. Forward opposite is reverse. What is forward proxy? When the internal employee, for example, I am working in Google company as a cybersecurity analyst or cybersecurity manager or director. Now, so whenever I want to access one of the application, it is outside of my Google company. Example, I want to access Facebook. I'm sitting in California, or I'm sitting in the Hyderabad Google company, and I want to access Facebook company. In that scenario, my request it will go to proxy, and proxy it will validate. So in my organization, proxy, social networking websites are we are allowing. Then finally, I can access that website. So that is called forward proxy. When the internal employee is trying to access any external website or public website or public application, is called as a forward proxy. Then what is my reverse proxy? Opposite for reverse. Now you are working. You want to apply one of the job vacancies in Google, or you want to apply one of the job vacancy in the, so maybe example Wipro or Accenture. You are not employing the Wipro, you are not employing the Accenture, you are not employing the Google company, and so on. So one of the vacancies is related to cybersecurity analyst, and you want to apply that vacancy in the Wipro or Google or TCS or maybe Accenture and so on. Now you will go to Google website or you will go to Naukri websites, then you can apply. Now you're external person, you are looking for job seeker, you are like a job seeker, and you are looking for job opportunity or job vacancy. Now, whenever you are applying any job vacancy, the traffic it will come from external to internal because you are a public person. So that time also, so now you are sitting here, external user. You are sitting external user and you are applying for one of the vacancies in the Wipro. That request it will come to you, and once you are applying, that request will go to proxy server. Proxy server it will validate who your public they are trying to apply the job vacancy, whether he's a legitimate person or illegitimate person. In case is a legitimate person, it will allow the request. In case it's illegitimate person from the malicious IP, it will block that request. Now, so now you'll go to www.wipro.com. It's one of the website /careers/cybersecurity analyst. Under the careers website, you are applying for the cybersecurity analyst. Now the traffic is coming from external to internal in the opposite of the forward. So that is called reverse proxy. So that is our type of proxies. Next one is web application firewall, WAF. What is WAF? It will do. So WAF function, this next generation firewall only within the perimeter level, network level only. But even though nowadays companies will say like from voice layers, physical layer to application layer. Tomorrow topic that one, physical layer to application layer. Okay. So all these are 7 layers. They will say, so next generation firewall also, it will do functionality from physical layer to layer number 7, application layer. But actually speaking, under the application layer, it will do only 70% functionality. 100% it will not do it. To eliminate the drawback using next generation firewall, whatever drawback it is existing, then we have to implement dedicated to for application side malicious activity whenever attack is trying to do. We have to implement web application firewall dedicatedly. Okay. Otherwise, we cannot block all WASP top 10 category of the attacks. So it will prevent, monitor, or block all WASP top 10 category of the attacks. WASP top 10 are SANS top 25 or application layer or layer number 7. Layer number 7 as per OSI is called application. So it will prevent, monitor, block all WASP top 10 category of the attacks or SANS top 25 category of the attacks or application layer side attacks or layer 7 attacks. So that is called web application firewall. Example of attacks are, okay, anyway, I'll discuss at WASP top 10. Same thing here also. We have to, how it will block web application firewall, WASP top 10 and SANS top 25. It will use signature based detection mechanism, and also it will use the machine learning and artificial intelligence. Based on this one, and we have to configure the policies, WAF policies. Dedicatedly WAF also, we have so many vacancies are available. Akamai, Barracuda, Imperva, and so on. Okay. So now WASP top 10. What is WASP top 10? Or SANS top 25. So it is one of the institution or organization. So they will conduct this survey, and finally they'll provide top 10 category of the attacks related to application side. I already given examples like, so as I'm working in WASP organization, WASP is one of the company. I'm working in WASP company. Now I want to ask couple of customers like TCS or Infosys or HDFC Bank or State Bank of India or AT&T or Vodafone or BSNL or Apollo Hospital and so on. For that one, I'll pay anyway money for $100 or $200. One of the security person, I will go and I'll speak with them. For that one, I'll give okay $100. It's not for free of cost. So then I will ask them. So in the 2025, what are the application side attacks you observed? I will take the feedback or summary or brainstorming session or sampling theorem from different types of the companies. Okay. So I will approach TCS, I'll approach Infosys, I'll approach State Bank of India, I'll approach HDFC Bank, I will approach Apollo Hospital, I approach Reliance and so on. Okay. So then I will ask top 10 category of the application set what you observed in the 2025. Finally, I will make according to the, so feedback from all these different types of the people or companies list. So that institution is called as WASP top 10. Okay. So it is an institutions. or organization, it will conduct survey or feedback by approaching multiple customers or clients or companies related to application category of the attacks. And finally, WASP, it will make a summary of WASP top 10 category of the attacks. So that is called WASP top 10. Couple of example of the WASP top 10. If I want to say this one in the our day-to-day life, whenever elections are going to complete, so couple of TV channels or couple of news channels, they will conduct this survey. So which party it will win the elections? Example, Agadaku Party Rajagopal survey or the Hindu or the NDTV survey. So the Times of India survey, the Enadu, the Sakshi, the Malayalam Manorama, and so on. These are like websites or news channels. They will conduct this survey and finally they will make which party is going to win the elections. Same as it is this one also. Just you can compare. So now example of WASP top 10 category of the attacks. SQL injection attack, broken access control. I'm not giving the ascending order. Actually, broken access control is number 1. SQL injection number 3. Cross-site scripting attack. CSRF attack, cross-site request forgery attack. Insecure design. Cryptographic failures. This is number 2. So next one is session hijacking or man in the middle attack, MITM. What is flight hijacking? So couple of terrorists, they will make a, so whatever path of the flight is going, they will change that path, and finally, so whoever is traveling in the flight, so they will change the destination and they will kill the people. This what's happened in 2021 or 2019, Malaysia Airlines, Malaysia, Singapore Airlines, most of the cases they will go and they will make these, even Indonesia also couple of times. So that is called flight hijacking part. And finally they'll kill the people. This is the way how these flight hijacking. It's not a original path in between source and destination where the flight is wants to travel. Okay, but immediately, so these terrorists, they will make the path of the flight wherever it is traveling from source to destination. They will come as middlemen, and finally they will do hijacking of the flight and they will kill the people. Okay, Cessna hijacking and so on. These are all the couple of category of the WASP top 10. There are so many, more than 25 as I mentioned. So then when initially survey is conducted WASP, initial survey conducted by WASP in 2010, later 2013, later 2017, and most recent 2021, and 2025 is forthcoming. Within 5 to 6 months or before end of the November, we'll get the new WASP top 10 related, so our attacks names. Forthcoming. Data collection is completed already. They want to make a survey or they want to make a overall summary. Forthcoming in November or December. I have shown already. If I want to show this one once again, just go to WASP top 10 in the Google. So click on WASP top 10. So this is 2025 survey they conducted. So very soon it will come to us in the December, November. Right now, which one we are using? 2021 survey. broken access control, cryptographic failure, injection, insecure design. All these are different types of the WASP top 10 category of the attacks. So this is institution. So this one, under this one, around I think 8 to 9 members are working under WASP. Okay, so those people will collect the data and finally, so they will share these reports. It's like a non-profitable organization, NGO. So they are making these surveys and they are helping to different types of the companies. They are doing good for us. So that is about WASP top 10. So firewall, proxy, IDS, IPS, DLP, antivirus, EDR, vulnerability management. What is meant by vulnerability management? Scanning of the servers and identifying of the vulnerability. Vulnerability is nothing but any weakness. So any issue or any problem or any loophole. So that is called vulnerability, right? So now vulnerability management meaning here, scanning of the servers. Most of the cases vulnerability management, we can do it for the servers. Okay. So, but even we can do it for endpoints also, but it depends. So already antivirus and EDR and DLP we are using on the endpoint side, but most of the cases we can do it for the servers whenever we are referring to vulnerability management. That does not mean that we can't do for endpoints. Even if you want, we can do for endpoints also. It is completely up to the organizations or customers or clients. If they have money, they can do it for endpoints also. We can do for servers, we can do for databases, we can do for applications, we can do for cloud environment also. That's called vulnerability management. Scanning of the servers and identifying of the vulnerabilities is called as vulnerability management. Okay. Under this vulnerability management, it's a 5-cycle management, 5-phase approach. We can use it. Vulnerability management life cycle. One is called asset inventory. First, we have to identify the server. That's called asset inventory or discovery. Next one is scanning of the servers. Next one is so sending the reporting of those vulnerabilities to the servers team, because we will not fix it. Security will not fix the vulnerability. That is called patch management. So next one is so fixing of the vulnerabilities is a part of the patch. So these overall things we can call it as vulnerability management life cycle. So detection, discovery, identification, report, and so fixing of the vulnerability is called as vulnerability management life cycle. Next one, patch management. Fixing of the vulnerabilities by service team or application team, nothing but application developers, or cloud team is called as patch management. So as I mentioned, you are not a server owner, you are not application developer, we are not a cloud architects or cloud. Okay, so DevOps guys, we want to fix the issues. Just we are a security person. We can go and we can identify the vulnerabilities and we can report those vulnerabilities respect to our internal stakeholders or maybe customer or client. So fixing can be done by either service team, that may be Windows or Unix or middleware, or web service team or Apache Tomcat, or application development or application programmers or cloud team. Those people fix it. Okay, that's called patch management. Next one, CS benchmark. So CS benchmark, it's called Center for Internet Security. So this one I have shown already. CS is also one of the institutional organization. It's a free of cost. We don't need to pay any money. So the CS benchmark institution or organization, what they will do, they will provide benchmark related. Nothing benchmark meaning here baseline security best practices. They will provide those security best practices or benchmark or baseline configurations. So they will provide to us as a customer or client. We can go and we can implement those security configurations or implementations. If we are configuring those security configurations or implementation, what is the advantage for us? What is the pros for us? So if we are implementing that one from the attacker related side, we can reduce the attack vector, attack complexity. So we can reduce hacking. So that is the reason we can implement CIS benchmark. So what is the website name? Center for Internet Security. Center for Internet Security. That's called CAS. So this is one of the institutional organization. They will provide benchmark for cloud, and also they'll provide for databases. They'll provide for Windows laptops. They will provide Windows servers, Unix servers, almost all those solutions wherever OS is involved. Those places they can provide. So I can go to downloads. Otherwise, I can go to images. Yeah, you can see here AWS, Azure, GCP, Oracle Cloud Platform, and also AML Linux, Amazon Linux, Apple Mac OS. They are running for Apple also recently. Debian Linux, Microsoft Windows Desktop, Microsoft Windows Servers. So next one is Nignix. It's one of the web server. Oracle Linux, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Rocky Linux, SUSE Linux, Ubuntu Linux. Yeah, these are the couple of. So they are providing for even Windows, Unix, almost all the operating system. That was not only applicable to on the physical server, even it is applicable to VMware, it is applicable to cloud environment also. So these are all the benchmark. I can show practically under the vulnerability management. When you're scanning of the servers, scanning of the cloud instances, scanning of the databases. So even we have to enable, because these are all benchmark like a 220 plus or 200 plus or 180 plus or 150 plus. Can you go and can you check all these benchmark as a manual way? It will take longer time to us as a security person. It's difficult for us. So these assets, these asset owner or server owner or database team, they can go and they can implement all these security baseline or configuration. Then what is security person role and responsibility? Part of the vulnerability management. So we have to see how many benchmarks are passed, how many are failed. For example, out of 225, 112 are passed, 113 are failed. What are failed one we do have, we have to inform to the respective asset owner or server owner. So after 225, 112 are passed, 113 are failed means here pass percentage. 112 by 225 into 100 percentage. That will come 49.99 percentage, around 50 percentage. Okay. So this is the way how the benchmark we can go and we can implement. What are failed one are there? Those failed one we have to inform to the respective server owner. Whoever server owner or asset owner is existing, we have to inform to that candidate or that team. Otherwise, sorry, that team we have to inform. Those team will fix it. Why it is failed? What is the reason behind that one? Whether they implemented that configuration? Is there any compatibility issues are existing? All those things they can verify it. Okay. For me, Docker and container related benchmark implementation, it took approximate more than 3 years to comply 98 percentage. When is working in X company, part of the product development side, we are using the Docker and container and virtual machines and the physical database servers and also physical Windows and Unix server. When I went and when I joined and when I onboarded into that company, so they don't have the vulnerability management process from the scratch. I implemented, and also they don't have CS benchmark related issues also. So then finally I joined and I educated all these product development team, application development team, database team, infrastructure team, and Windows team and Linux team. Continuously I took the trainings to all these 17,000 product development team. And finally, when I left the company or when I resigned the company, we achieved 98 percentage. Okay. So that is CS benchmark. It can be used to reduce the attack vector or attack complexity or reduce the hacking from the attacker. Is called, it can be used. Okay. So then how we can define one more definition now? CS level 1 and level 2 controls. There are two different types of level 1 level 2 controls. I think they will give here level 1 and level 2 controls. Yeah, you can see here level 1 controls. level 1 controls, level 2 controls. There are two different types of control. Which one is very good for us and it will prevent hacking? Level 2 are very important as compared to level 1. So yes, level 1 and level 2 controls can be implemented. Okay, these are all level 2 controls are initial security configurations or implementations and can be done by server owner or asset owner. If it is database owner or database owner or cloud owner and so on extra. So these are all security configurations I can download in future once we are going to vulnerability management process under the infrastructure security domain. There I'll explain about how it looks like, what are the level 1 and level 2 controls are. So by the way, where we can enable these policy, as I mentioned, so verifying the 225 controls, verifying the 100 controls, part of the level 1, level 2, it will take longer time to through manual way. First of all, we don't have the server access. As a cybersecurity analyst or vulnerability management analyst, do you think that they will give server access to us? No, they will not give to us. Then what we have to do? So obviously, we have to enable this policy under the vulnerability management tool. So like in SS or Qualys or Rapid7 or Tripwire. So those are the couple of tools we can use. Wherever we are scanning the service, in the scan policy, we have to enable the CS benchmark also. I will provide note. We have to enable CS benchmark configuration under the scan policy of any vulnerability management tool. So that vulnerability management tool may be Nessus is one of the tool, Qualys is one of the tool, Rapid7 is one of the tool. So Tripwire is one of the tool, Nexpose is one of the tool, and so on. There are so many tools available, but these are all very famous ones. So just we have to enable the policy, then automatically it will do scanning of all the level 1 and level 2 controls. Then it will give the overall feedback for us. Then what are failed one and passed one, like it will do auditing kind of thing. So then what are failed one we do have, then we have to inform to the respective server owner or asset owner or application owner or database owner or cloud owner, according to whatever team we are working and what are scanning we are trying to do it. If it's server, then only server owner. Then TCP three-way handshake. What is TCP three-way handshake? Inter question. It's very, very important. So TCP three-way handshake, three-way, three types or three ways. Handshake, exchanging the communication. Handshake meaning exchanging of the communication. For example, so I will go to Google and I will type ISP address in Hyderabad, Indian School of Business. Indian School of Business, it is there in the Gachibowli. Okay, so nearer to Nanak Ramaguda. So now I want to ISB address because I don't know. I want to travel to ISB. I want to complete my masters, for example. So Gachibowli, Hyderabad, Telangana. So this is the location of the Indian School of Business. Now, how this particular response it is coming back? It is coming back using the TCP three-way handshake. I given a query. I need ISB address in Hyderabad. So I sent synchronization request. Then what Google server it has done? It has responded back with synchronization plus acknowledgement. Then I said Google server to thank you so very much for providing the address. Total 3 steps it is happening. These 3 steps we can call it as TCP three-way handshake. What are those 3 steps are? synchronization, synchronization plus acknowledgement, second step. Third one is acknowledgement. Finally, I got the answer. Whatever query I given to Google. Okay, so this particular process we can call it as TCP three-way handshake. Okay, whenever you're giving the answer, also give practical oriented answer instead of the theoretical oriented answer. Whenever end user will give sync request to the backend server, server will respond back with sync plus acknowledgement, and finally end user will respond back acknowledgement. ACK means acknowledgement, S1 means sync to the server, back to server. The total steps are happening in three ways. That's why it is called TCP three-way handshake. So total three ways it is happening. Couple of people, they will say in simple words also, sync, comma acknowledgement, sync plus acknowledgement, comma acknowledgement. In between end user and also server. But what I have done, I give practical example instead of the theoretical way. I went to Google and I want to identify the ISP address in the Hyderabad location. Then as synchronization request, I given ISP address in Hyderabad. Google server, it is responded back. So synchronization plus acknowledgement, and as end user, I given acknowledgement as a thank you so much to Google server. The total process is happening in three ways. That's what it is called TCP three-way handshake. This is also fine. It's better to explain through practical way. That is about TCP three-way handshake. So what are the main things you have to remember here? Sync is first step, sync plus acknowledgement is second step, and acknowledgement is third step. Next one, ARP, address resolution protocol. So what this address resolution protocol it will do? So we do have the total 7 layers under the OSI: physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, application layer. From top, bottom to top. If it is top to bottom, application, presentation, session, transport, so network, data link, and physical layer. So what ARP protocol it will do? This one, it will act as a in between data link and network, nothing but second layer and third layer. So what it will do? It will do resolution of the address. What is the resolution of the address it will do? Whatever network layer IP address we do have, that one it will convert to MAC address of the data link layer. That conversion or resolution protocol, we can call it as ARP protocol. Okay. It will convert or resolute layer 3 IP address. What is layer 3 as per OS layers? Network. To layer 2 MAC address. What is layer 2? Data link layer. So that resolution or converting of IP address to MAC address is called ARP. Why we have to convert? To receive the internet. To receive the ISP router, it will maintain the ARP table. Even not only just ISP router, each and every system, it will create one of the ARP table. Okay. So that ARP table, we can call it as, so conversion of the IP address to MAC address. Then what is RARP? Give me 1 second, I will complete. RARP, reverse of address resolution protocol. Reverse address resolution protocol. What it will do? Reverse of the ARP. Reverse of ARP is called as RARP. What is reverse of ARP definition now? It will convert to layer 2 MAC address to layer 3 IP address. That is the reverse of ARP. it is opposite or reverse of ARP. How we can define this one now? It will convert layer 2 MAC address or physical address, layer 2, sorry, layer 2 address. Which layer? This one is called data link layer. So MAC address is also called physical address. Yesterday we discussed. To layer 3 IP address. IP address is also called logical address. Which layer? This one, network layer. That is called RARP. It's one of the interview question. Okay, so that's all for today, guys. Tomorrow I will start. Maybe I can go and I can see is there any pending definitions. It is there. There are so many definitions will be there anyways. So anyways, tomorrow I will start the networking concepts. So far I completed as per course content and syllabus. So first one is completed. Acronyms, full forms and abbreviations. First we discussed about acronyms or full form and abbreviation. Then also I discussed about cybersecurity definitions. So these acronyms or full forms or abbreviations or definitions regularly we will use in our day-to-day classes. So as per tomorrow class, what is our course content and syllabus? OSLAS. So tomorrow I'll state OSLAS. From there we can continue. Okay. So and also, sorry, yeah. Yesterday class I already uploaded, and as I said yesterday in the WhatsApp group, today class give me another 10 minutes. I'll upload. So please go through these interviews videos also, and on daily basis I can go and I can upload whoever candidate is attending the interviews. I can make one of the Excel sheet also like interview questions, and I will upload this one. Okay guys, that's all for today, and we will continue. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, sir. Thank you.